If you're trying to watch Hulu in New Zealand, you'll be able to get onto the streaming service, but none of its content will work. There won't be a play button or anything like that. And this is happening because Hulu doesn't have the rights to broadcast its content in New Zealand. Luckily, there is a way to get around these blocks. All you need is a reliable VPN. We recommend NordVPN, and in this video I'm going to show how you can use NordVPN to reliably watch Hulu in New Zealand. Firstly, I'll just show you what it looks like when Hulu isn't working. I'm on Hulu here without a VPN, and as you can see, I can see all of the content, but I can't actually play any of it. So there's no play button or anything like that, and when there is a play button, sometimes a play button does appear, you run into errors that says this is not available in your location. So what we need to do is get NordVPN on our device, and that will unblock the content. Okay, so the quickest and easiest way to get NordVPN is to click on the link in the description. That will take you directly to this page. This is the NordVPN checkout. Here you can select a plan, whatever one best suits you. There's 3 plans you can choose from. There's also some add-ons you can add to your subscription, like NordPass Premium and NordLocker Premium. You don't need either of these for this to work, so I'm not going to use that. I'm going to pick the 2-year plan and continue to payment. Now, this is where you're going to need to create an account, so you'll need an email address here, and you'll also need to put in your payment information. I already have a NordVPN account, so I'm not going to do this, but I will show you how to download it on your device once you've made an account. Alright, so once you've made a NordVPN account, it should auto-populate the login, but if it hasn't, you can log in up here, or you can return to the NordVPN homepage and log in like that. I'm going to log in from here. Okay, so it's actually remembered my account, so I'm going to click on my account and get into my Nord subscription. And here you can see what you've subscribed to. So for me, my active services are NordVPN. To download it, you just go to the right here and you click Download Apps. And this is all of the devices you can download Nord on. So you can get it for Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, Android TV, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox. I'm getting Nord on my PC, so I'm just going to go download the NordVPN app. I like to save my downloads, so I click Save As on the bottom left. Into Downloads, Save. And then once that's done, you can run the exe file down the bottom left. Click Yes. Next. Install. And this will install NordVPN on your computer. Okay, so if I start up NordVPN, here it comes now. This is what it looks like. Now, for Hulu is a US-based streaming service, so we need to connect to a NordVPN server that is in the United States. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can look for the United States on the map, so here we go here. Or, if you want, you can just type it up here in the top left, United States. Click that, and that's going to give you the best server for you. Once it goes green to protected, you're now connected to a US-based server on NordVPN, and this has given you a US IP address. So what that does is it makes Hulu think that you are trying to watch its service from within the United States. Okay, so now that we're connected to a US server, if we go back to Hulu, you can see that now I can play the content.
Investment to start, grow, or save.
Shark Tank's working, and I'm watching Hulu in New Zealand. There is a few steps that we will have to cover, though. You will need to try and make a Hulu account. So I'll show you how to do that as well right now. Alright, so I've logged out of my account and I'm back at the Hulu homepage. Now to create an account, you can click Start Your Free Trial right in the middle of the screen here. And this is going to ask you to select a plan. I recommend the middle plan, that's just standard Hulu. And then you're going to need to make an email password, put in your name, birth date, and gender, and then click continue. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just log into one of the accounts I've already made just to show you what happens. All that's going to happen is once you've done this, it's going to take you to the payment page. So I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so once you've created your account, this is going to be the payment page, and this things can get a little bit tricky, but still not too bad. We have found that if you use a New Zealand debit card, it probably won't work, but an Amex will. We've used an Amex before, an American Express card, and that's worked fine. If you don't have an American Express, what you can do is actually use a Hulu gift card to top up your account, and then you can purchase a subscription like that. But before we get into that, I just need to talk about this zip code part here. This zip code needs to be a US zip code. So if you do have an Amex, you put your Amex card number in there, your expiration and your CVC obviously, and then for a zip code, you can just literally Google US zip codes, and then select any one of these numbers. So 72201. That's what you would put in there if you were using an Amex, and then that would work. But I'll quickly show you how to get a gift card if you don't have an Amex as well. Okay, so the best place to get a Hulu gift card is a website called My Gift Card Supply. So if we Google My Gift Card Supply, it's going to be the first one up here. And what you want to do is search Hulu in the middle. You can click Hulu gift cards like that. Choose a value so you can get them in $25, $50, $100, one time. Add to cart. You will need to have an account with My Gift Card Supply, but that's straightforward, just the same as Hulu, email address, password, all that sort of thing. Proceed to checkout. And then you can put in New Zealand. You will need a phone number as well that you're going to put in here. So that's just for order verification. So you'll get a text, and that's just to verify that you've made the order. First name, last name, New Zealand, email address. And if you click here, you can actually use a New Zealand debit card. So my Visa worked, for example. Once you've paid that, click place order, and what's going to happen is you're going to receive an email that's going to have a gift voucher code, and that's going to give you your Hulu gift card. So I'm going to show you what you have to do with that code to then load it onto your Hulu account. Okay, so the good thing is you don't actually have to set up a payment with Hulu to have an account. So even if you haven't put your credit card in, you still have an account. So if you go back to the Hulu homepage, up the top right, you're going to have your account. Click on that. And then as you can see here, you've got gift or promotional code. Now, this is where you need to paste the code that will be emailed to you by My Gift Card Supply. Paste that in there, click the arrow button, and then that will give you money on your account, which will allow you to start your free trial. So that's a good way to get around your New Zealand debit card not working. Okay, so once you've created your Hulu account, make sure that you're connected to a US server on NordVPN. Go to Hulu, select your account, and boom, you'll be able to watch all of the content Hulu has to offer in New Zealand. It's that simple. Now, the reason we recommend NordVPN is because NordVPN has measures in place to get around Hulu's VPN blocking techniques. Hulu attempts to block VPN connections. They do this by monitoring for abnormal connections coming from the same IP address. Now, abnormal means more than your average household. So what happens is a VPN actually has more customers than they do IP addresses, and this means that the IPs have to be shared with the customers. So that can result in hundreds or thousands of people trying to connect to Hulu from the same IP. Now, when that happens, Hulu recognizes that that's obviously an IP address that has been provided by a VPN, and it blocks it. That's why sometimes a VPN won't work. In fact, lesser VPNs don't have any techniques to get around Hulu's blocking technology. When Hulu blocks one of their IP addresses, it just doesn't work, and inevitably Hulu is able to block all of the IP addresses that lesser VPNs can provide. Nord, on the other hand, does have measures in place to get around this. When Hulu blocks an IP provided by Nord closes that IP address and opens a new one. This allows you to reliably watch Hulu consistently in New Zealand. And it's that simple. All you need to do is click on the link in the description below, get yourself a subscription to Nord, create an account with Hulu, and you will reliably be able to watch Hulu in New Zealand.